Three, two, one. What is up, everybody? And welcome back to Zachary Reality. It is Zachary Reality, and it is Tuesday, August 20th, and we are here to chat all about Love Island, the reunion, and hometowns for the Bachelorette. So welcome back to my channel, everybody. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, hit subscribe, and comment in the live chat if you guys get here on time for the live. Last night's TV was jam-packed. There is so much to talk about and break into, and that reunion was so crazy for Love Island. I didn't watch every single episode this season because there was literally 55 episodes, but the 20 I did watch, I really was invested in this cast, and I feel like it was a really fabulous cast and such a great season. Everybody was talking about it online, and there's a reason why it was so popular. And that's because of the cast, the group dynamics, the friendships. The marketing was really good this season. The social campaign, I thought Ariana did such a great job as host. But like the cast, their dynamics and all the drama, it was just so juicy and so good. So I'm really excited to chat with you guys about the Love Island reunion. I also this week posted an interview with Danny from Claim to Fame. Are you guys still watching Claim to Fame? There is 4 people left. There's Mackenzie, there's Hud, Adam, and Shane. So there's 2 episodes left. It usually gets really good at the end. So I caught up with Danny and asked him about his time on the show because he was sent home last week. So feel free to check that out. Another show that just premiered on the USA Network is called The Anonymous. It's basically a show where there's like 11 contestants, 8 contestants, and they all have to like live with each other in a house, but then they go into these private rooms and are behind like emojis, and they all communicate in the chat behind the emoji. And then they go back into the house where everybody else is, and then they don't tell them what their emoji is. So a lot of people talk shit behind their emoji because they can get away with it, but then they're like nice to their face. And you want to like throw people off with your emoji because each week someone is crowned the anonymous, and that person gets to choose who goes home. So you really want to like kiss everyone's ass and be friends with everybody. And everyone gets to vote too, like for the emoji. So basically everyone votes for one emoji, and then that emoji then picks who goes home, but it's all like anonymous, but then they all like live in the house together, if that makes sense. So the first 3 episodes are out now on the USA Network, and I interviewed the first 2 eliminated contestants. So that's why I'm telling you guys about this. And those interviews are probably going to come out this week. So if you guys are into the show, we could really watch this together. I think it could be good. And also another show I'm so excited about is The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This show is so good. If you guys are not Housewives fans, become Housewives fans. There is nothing like Salt Lake. I watch all of the Housewives. I like all the Housewives. But recently, over the past couple of years, Salt Lake has really risen to my number 1. It is my absolute favorite Real Housewives on. It is so good. Now, I will say there is a huge hole in the show right now. It hasn't even started yet, but the fact that Monica is not going to be there is definitely going to be crazy because she was such a big impact on last season, and she was such a great addition to the show, but she totally burned all her bridges and really got put in the hot seat, which is why she got fired. I do think they'll bring Monica back at some point. I heard she's going to make an appearance on House of Villains season 2, which will come out in the fall. And I know Bravo wants to continue working with Monica because she is such entertainment television, but she's got to get back into this group if we can want to see her on Salt Lake. I do think the cast is absolutely stacked regardless. I love all the women: Whitney, Heather, Lisa, Meredith, Mary, and Angie K. I love all of those women. They're all so dynamic and so much fun to watch on TV. Like, just, it's such good TV. And there's also going to be 3 new Housewives. So that will shake things up. But there's no one like Monica or like Jen Shah, like that toxic energy. But like, I feel like Monica could have had a redemption story. She could have slowly got back in with Whitney. And I really hope that happens next year. But I think the show will still be good. Okay, now let's talk about the Love Island reunion. Or we'll actually talk about The Bachelorette first, because I know most of you guys would rather me talk about that right away. And then we'll talk about the Love Island reunion right after. So last night was hometowns. We're down to our final 4. We have Devin, we have Marcus, we have Jonathan, and we have Jeremy. I feel like the writing was on the wall for this week that Jeremy was going to go home. I mean, her connections with Jonathan, Marcus, and Devin are just so much more stronger. Jeremy was so far behind. The fact that Jeremy even made it to hometowns was a shock. I mean, it could have been Grant, it could have been Spencer. Like they were all like neck and neck. And then like last week, Jeremy kind of got lucky, it felt like, because he did have the last one-on-one date. And that was really evident in his hometown when his mom clocked it immediately and was like so skeptical and so unsure and so reserved. And you could tell that she was just like trying to be a good mom, but she also wanted to be so honest. So maybe she should have just been more honest, because maybe not with Jenn, because that would be like a little rude. Like I feel like there was just like teetering the lines of like, he's so skeptical, but I felt like maybe with her son, she could have been like, like this ain't working. But you know, she wanted to protect his feelings. I felt like Jeremy was like strangely confident, especially when he said like, she likes me the most. And then even when he sat with the guys during the beer date at the end, he also was like extremely confident. And I don't know why. Maybe he was just like telling himself that, or maybe like his connection just was so much slower. So like maybe she felt like she already had the time with the other guys, but it was just obvious as a viewer that like he was going home. So I wasn't shocked. I felt like the episode was very anticlimactic. However, the other three hometowns, I felt like we did further love connection. Like I felt all the feels, which really moved things forward for next week, because next week they're going to do fantasy suites on Monday night, and then they're going to do the Men Tell All on Tuesday night. And I do have some spoilers for you for that. I'm so excited about the Men Tell All. I love a good Men Tell All. So I was told Jeremy and Jonathan were at the Men Tell All, which means that the final two is Devin and Marcus, which we kind of already knew. But I also heard that like Sam M got roasted and that Austin was not there for whatever reason. They didn't invite him. He wasn't there. And I think that's so weird because he was pretty popular during the season. But Austin was also the one who broke up with Jenn and like sent her into a spiral where she felt like no one was there for her anymore. And it just like really effed with her head. So I don't know if that was just like a reason why they wouldn't invite him. But I also feel like that was like a big moment, and Austin got a lot of love online. So Paradise, maybe 2025. There's so many guys on this season I already think will be great on Paradise. They're taking a year off, which we know because the Golden Bachelorette will come on in the fall. But I think that once Paradise comes back next year, we'll have such an all-star cast with like good guys from this season, the next season, and then all the girls. I mean, Joey's girls are ready for Paradise. They're all going to be great on it. So I cannot wait for that. It'll be worth the wait. But Love Island really got our fix this summer with like hookup drama and all of the things. So that's why everyone got so into it, I think. But back to the one-on-ones. Let's talk about Marcus's next. I felt like his was the most emotional one-on-one date ever when she was crying with his sister. I was like literally in tears. I was like, this is so sad. Like they just had like such a great like, you know, moment and connection, and it was really sweet how much Jenn really cares about Marcus. You can tell that she really loves him so much and that she really like is rooting for him, but like it could end up being more and like I love you but like maybe at a distance one day, because I really do think she's going to pick Devin, but she really cares for Marcus. So that's why I definitely think he'll be final two, and that Jonathan will go home next week. But Marcus did have a lot of reservations, and we saw that in the trailer, especially for next week, when he was saying that he just has his guard down. He doesn't know if he's there yet. He's obviously been through a lot in his life. He was like a veteran. He had, you know, is adopted. And I feel like he's been through so much. So he's just so reserved. But what does that mean? Like he's not ready to be in love because he's been through so much? Or is he not ready to like let his guard down because he's been through so much, which is like understandable. Like if he doesn't think he can get there and get engaged at the end of this, but does he want to fight for Jenn? Does he really want to be with her? Or does he just not ready for a relationship at all? Like, what is it? So I feel like with Marcus, we're getting a lot of mixed signals, and I think it's going to be so dramatic when they break up and like shocking. I have been told that the end is so shocking and that I'm going to be shocked. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just like 99% sure she's picking Devin, but how she's picking Devin, I don't know. A lot of people have wanted to tell me, and I've said, don't do it. I don't want to know. I'm holding off. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen, if she's going to propose, if there's just going to be a dramatic breakup with Marcus that's going to throw everyone for a loop, if like there's going to be something with Devin that's going to throw them for a loop, because Devin did say during this week that like he didn't want to tell Jenn that he loved her because the thought of him telling her that and then her telling someone else that would freak him out, would freak him out. So I don't know, how dramatic it's going to get at the end, but I do think it's going to be really high tensions between the final two. And I am just so excited. I can't wait to see the journey unfold. I feel like the finale is always so good. And there's always so much to talk about when it comes to like deep breakups, where everything so far has not been as intense. And even this week with Jeremy, like it wasn't surprising. It wasn't shocking. So maybe next week, Jonathan could kind of pull at our heartstrings when Jenn breaks up with him or he breaks up with her. He had a really sweet hometown as well. His brother was so protective of him, which I thought was really sweet and really kind. And it just felt like he had a really good support system and that he was starting to fall in love with Jenn and that they would be a cute like boyfriend and girlfriend. But Jonathan's not her forever, but I do think he will be a fan favorite in Bachelor in Paradise when he goes next year. And I think Jeremy will go to Paradise as well. And I think Jonathan will get like a lot of love once he gets broken up with. And I think America will just be like really rooting for him. Deb says, hello, excited sweet coffee, excited for hometowns recap. David says, sup nerd. Bittersweet coffee says Jeremy for Paradise. I agree. Okay. And then, yeah, Devin's hometown, they did the run club, which was sweet. Jenn is so excited about Devin. She like really likes him. Like you can tell that she has such a crush on Devin. Jenn and Devin are like nerds. They're like dorks. I mean, the shirts are so corny and nerdy, but it's so cute and it's just like so their thing. And it was so, I thought, honestly, iconic when they started kissing and at the whole run club, obviously they knew what was going to happen, right? Or maybe they didn't. And the whole run club just kept running past them. Like, what a shot on the bridge. That was sick. I was so here for that. So, and then his hometown date went really well. I feel like she talked to his mom. He talked to his mom. You could tell that Devin like really likes her the most. Right? Like they're just going to be end game, but like, are they going to last after the show? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see them at after the final rose and kind of see like their dynamic, where they're at now. I have so many questions. So I can't wait to see. Other Bachelor news. I feel like there was a lot of Bachelor Nation news this week. So Maddie Pruitt, she just announced her pregnancy. She didn't say when she was due or anything, but she did post a podcast that I actually want to listen to and do a recap on. So I'm gonna get to that this week because she talks all about her pregnancy and like how she found out. And apparently Maddie didn't tell her husband Grant for a week that she was pregnant. She literally kept that secret from him for a week. And she said that she did that because he was like finishing up like his last week of like school or camp or something. And she didn't want to like stress him out. And like, I guess she also wanted a couple days to process things. And then she wanted to kind of like plan a surprise for him to tell him where she can get a couple gifts and like make it special. So I think that makes sense because like he had a few days left of his job for the summer. Like why, like maybe wait till the end. That's a good surprise. So I thought that was interesting. I read that in Us Weekly and I'm going to make a TikTok about that today as well. I really want to get on my TikTok game. Like literally like sometimes my like happiness is like how well I do on TikTok every day. Not happiness, but like it just like makes me feel so accomplished when I get like good TikTok content out there with views and like give like good videos that everybody wants. And like sometimes some of my videos are such flops. So sometimes I just think about it every day because I post on TikTok every day. It's like my job, my livelihood. Other Bachelor Nation news is Blake and Rachel Recchia. They have sparked some dating rumors. They've always been kind of sparking dating rumors for a long time, but they just went to like a thing together over the weekend for the animals that like Blake probably does for work. I can find it on their Instagram because I feel bad not like naming it now. But Rachel replied in like some comments that they're just best friends. The Oceana Sea Change Summer Party. Oceana is dedicated to protecting and restoring the world's oceans on a global scale and is the largest international advocacy organization focused solely on ocean conservation. Oceana seeks to make our oceans more biodiverse and abundant by winning policy victories in the countries that govern much of the world's marine life. 19 million plus donated through this annual event since 2008. So I really feel like Blake and Rachel are just kind of like feeding into the online rumors just because they're friends and like it's funny and like get views off of it and then they promote good causes. But it kind of reminds me of Susie and Justin, who also were always like friends first and then eventually started dating and now are probably breaking up. So I wouldn't be surprised if Blake and Rachel just dated one day, because like they should. They just like make so much sense together, you know? They just really do. So other news is that Justin just kind of talked about his relationship with Susie, because they haven't like confirmed their breakup yet. They're being really vague. Justin told Us Weekly that he and Susie are on the same page as they continue to maintain their relationship more privately. They're prioritizing each other. She had a great birthday. When you're in a public relationship, people think they're owed certain things, which I understand, but some things are more private than others. And Susie kind of said the same thing a couple of weeks ago when she talked about their breakup. So they're just like not confirming they broke up yet, but it kind of seems like they're taking a break as they like figure out if they want to stay together or like make it official. Like it just seems like the door is still open, but like they're just like taking a break and just kind of like figuring things out privately. I guess it's been like over a month of that, because she also said something a few weeks ago at like a Miss USA thing, the same kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe they're just not officially ready to close the door, but I feel like, or maybe they're just not officially ready to let the world know. I don't know. I feel like they'll let us know eventually, just because people are always going to ask them questions when they're in Bachelor Nation and they do podcasts and they have friends. So eventually someone will say something. I mean, Greg and Victoria didn't tell us they broke up for like literally 9 months. So there's that. Happier news is that Ben Higgins also revealed that he is going to be a father. His wife, Jess Clark, shared on Instagram that she is pregnant, and they're having a baby girl in February. They've been married for like 3 years. So I'm really happy for them. Ben is so cool and nice. I've been on his podcast a couple of times, the Almost Famous podcast. And I feel like Ben is going to be the best dad literally ever. So this is very happy news. And then Rodney Matthews from Michelle's season also got engaged. He proposed to his fiance, Ari. Flowers, birds outside. They've been dating for like a year, a little bit more than a year, and they seem like in love and really happy. So good for them. That's amazing. Love is love. Okay, now let's talk about what you've all been waiting for. Maybe just a few people. The Love Island season 6 reunion breakdown. Let's get into it, because this was good. This was juicy. I actually am going to rewatch it today because I am so excited to see it again, because it was so good. Anyone complaining online about it not being good? Why? There was so much drama and like so much like good fashion and like everything. PPG, all the sayings. We had receipts. I thought Ariana killed it as host. We had a very long fire pit session, which was very annoying. But overall, let's talk about it. So it started off with a lot of the happy couple updates. I mean, of course, they brought in the final 4 after everybody else. But the final 4 updates is that Janae and Kenny are still together. Hey, Kenny. They're really happy. Janae is a queen. Serena and Cordell are still together. Their boyfriend-girlfriend moved into a new place. Also, Janae asked Kenny to be his girlfriend like 6 days ago. So it's new. Miguel and Leah are still going strong. And Kendall and Nicole are still together. I don't really know how, but we need to like kind of dissect this, but also like slay PPG, like on business, like whatever, spare me. You think you're going to have your cake and eat it too and cater to both of us? Nuh-uh. You made your bed, now hump in it. Oh my gosh. Serena, Leah, and Janae need a TV show or a podcast or literally anything. I will listen to them talk all day long. And same with Kaylor and Liv. They're very fun to watch as well. Maybe not so much Liv, especially after this reunion. Oh my God. She did not have a relationship of her own to fight. So she really tried to latch on to Kaylor and Aaron's clout. Oh my God, I just coughed. Clout, and like really like insert herself. I mean, she was in the middle and she is Kaylor's best friend, but like, girl, she really needed to, she was really doing the most. And Liv was also doing the most when we saw the deleted scene, where the fire pit scene, and she was the one that basically really rallied the troops to help make a decision on whether or not they were voting out Andrea or Nicole. So I feel like this was not a good reunion for Liv, but I do love her raspy voice. And I love how she just inserts herself in everyone's business and drama all the time, but still manages to like be friends and cool with everybody. So put Liv on Love Island Games. Put Kaylor on Love Island Games. Oh my God, please put Kaylor on my TV screen every day for the rest of my life. I love watching Kaylor. I want to see her be the Bachelorette. I want to see her on Survivor. I want to see Kaylor everywhere all the time. I literally die for Kaylor. If she has a YouTube channel, I'm subscribing. I know Janae has a YouTube channel. I'm also going to be subscribing. But let's talk about Nicole and Kendall. So this was definitely really weird because Nicole said that they were still together, which made no sense. Nicole looked thirsty AF for saying that she was still with him after she just like why is she still with him? She literally said and called him out on his ish that he was like, being really prancy on social media as she is staying low key and grieving and taking the hit for him. She protected him. She was quivering with her mouth. Like she literally was like, trying to stand by this man, and he was only reaching out to her when it was relevant to her, and he didn't want to come across overbearing. I mean, Kenny did not know how to handle this situation. I feel so bad for him that he was exposed online and someone posted like his nudes. Like that is so uncomfortable, and it seemed like there might have been more to it than that, where Nicole was just like so blindsided, and Kenny didn't know how to tell Nicole like the truth and what that was really about. But I guess Kenny told like his other friends about it because everyone on the show had Kenny's back. Like the entire cast was like jumping down Nicole's throat and like, I wouldn't want to say ganging up on her, but like they were really just trying to like get her to understand that like Kenny could not process being exposed like that. And it was so uncomfortable for him that like he didn't know how to tell the girl he loved the most, like the truth. So it's almost like easier to lie to the girl you love than it is to lie to your friends, like especially when you're just like so violated like that. But I also feel like I understand Nicole's perspective that like I'm supposed to be your number one, I'm supposed to be your partner, I'm supposed to be your girl, and you're gonna confide in other people before me, like just because you were an OG with some of the other people. Like the OGs obviously like have a closer friendship, but like I feel like if Nicole was really Kendall's like girl, like then she becomes a part of that group and they treat her like that. I felt like no one was treating Nicole like she was like in their inner circle. And I think that is like a testament to like how Kenny feels about her, because if he loved her and she was going to be his wife, then they would treat her like she was his wife, because clearly they love Kenny and they treat him like he's family. I just felt like they were really jumping down Nicole's throat all at once, and like maybe should have shown her a little support as well. I mean, this is obviously wasn't about her, and she did try and make it about herself, I think, only because she kept going on. Like in the beginning, I felt like she was entitled to say her truth, her opinion, and speak her mind. Like she was quivering, she was shaking, like that was genuine. When she refused to listen to anyone after like multiple times of them telling her like, Nicole, like we're trying to help you, then it became like her being a little stubborn and not like wanting to move on and accept things. So if she's stubborn and not willing to move on and accept things, just like Serena said, like you don't want to be lied to, then break up with him and move on. But she says they're still together, which I just don't think makes sense to me. They should not be together. They're not meant to be together. They both had a really difficult time and they both went through so much, and they can still root for each other and love each other from afar, but they are not meant to be together and they are not happy. And that is not authentic, their relationship. I know that like they probably just have to process things. It's so intense. This is such a whirlwind experience. You're like really bonded, but like no way this is working out. There's just no way. They shouldn't even try. It would be a waste of time trying. They can literally love each other from a distance and not feel like they failed. They still can feel like they had a great time. And, I'm sure they'll both be back on Love Island Games as well. All the single people go to Love Island Games. So if you don't know what that is, they just put like all the Love Islanders on the show, and then like they have to like couple up, and then there's like way more challenges and it's more competitive like that. So I think it's like only single people who can go. So we really only can get like Kaylor, Nicole, Liv, Kendall. I mean, there's a lot of great options. So I really did like what Serena said to Nicole when she was like really going in on it. I mean, Serena is just such a queen, and I think that's why she won, because she deserves to win, because she just proved that she was the most mature person on the cast. She didn't hold grudges. She wasn't petty. She never did the most. Like, obviously, Leah was the people's princess, and she gets a lot of points for being, I don't know, like, so hot and, like, the star. But, like, at the end of the day, like, Leah was still a little petty at the reunion, and where Serena, she, just, like, a little petty. Just a little. Like, I love how Leah says exactly how she feels, and gives no Fs, and like she tries to always see the best in people, and she is such a character and she's so fun. But like Serena really is that girl. Serena is that girl of the season. I think Serena won for a reason, and her and Cordell are that couple. Cheez-Its collab and all. I know a lot of people got Cheez-Its yesterday at the store, myself included. I literally was at the store at Target and I'm like, I need to get Cheez-Its because Cordell got Cheez-Its. I really want Cordell's Cheez-It flavor. The new one that just came out, like, yes. That's amazing. I can't wait to try that flavor. I don't know where we get it. Can we order it on Amazon? Like, they didn't say where we get it. Is it going to be in stores? Like, where do we get Cordell's Cheez-Its? Like, is this going to be a collection? Is it just one? Like, I need like a whole collection. And we're back. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. I hate when that happens. But hey, it's bound to happen. So yeah, Cordell really didn't say much at the reunion, and Rob didn't say much either. A couple of the girls who had flings with Rob, said that things were fine and things were chill. And there really didn't seem to be much tension between Rob, Leah, and Miguel. Miguel also like barely talked at the reunion. He didn't say much either. But there was a lot of drama between Andrea and PPG. Now, Andrea obviously was the girl who was voted out of the show. The girls had to decide if they were voting out Janae, Nicole, or Andrea. And we saw the fire pit scene, which was way too long. It was literally 9 minutes. They were showing the deleted scene of the fire pit scene of how these girls came to the decision to vote out Andrea or Nicole. So Andrea was really upset the way she left the show. She felt like the girls were kind of, voting her out. Maybe it was to step on Rob because, Rob had a past with Leah. There was a lot of different things that went through Andrea's mind, where she just was really frustrated with the way she left the show. And she went on Instagram and she went on TikTok. And she posted a lot of lives and she called Leah Two-Face on After Sun. And she really was just like being, kind of messy after the show. And that wasn't the energy that she was getting with the girls who, were being straight shooters. They all felt like they were being straight shooters with Andrea. So Janae came in with receipts. She came to read her. She came to call her out. Andrea was trying to share her side of the story, and she did. She got her point across, but Leah clocked her. Leah kind of called her out, and they were just like, girl, like, own up to your shit and keep Leah's name out of your mouth. That's what Janae said. And I mean, that's what happened. I think Andrea, might have been the little bit of the phony one. And I think she can learn from this. And I think she can go on Love Island Games. But I think all the other girls really were straight up. PPG was straight up through and through. And they really never tried to bash her or gang up on her. Like, they really just wanted to call her out for her BS. And like, if people are going to talk down on PPG, like, they're going to stand up for themselves. And I think that's what they did. And obviously there was like a huge, difference in dynamic between the Casa girls and between the OG girls. I think they have different experiences, so they all bonded in different ways. Like, how are the Casa girls and the OG girls going to be friends when they're on different sides? Like, they're trying to like steal their men, and it's not the Casa girls' fault. That's why they're here, to steal the men. So, it's just part of the show and part of the game. I don't think they all could be friends, but at least the Casa girls and the OG girls can respect each other. And that is what matters most. That everyone can just kind of like be cordial and come to a mutual understanding that not everyone's going to be BFFs, but I think that some people have new chances to be best friends on Love Island Games, because I do think they'll bring a few Casa girls on Love Island Games as well. And they make that international, so they bring so many good all-stars. Love Island's going to continue to thrive, and I hope that Ariana continues to host, because I don't think Vanderpump Rules is ever going to come back at this point. I mean, I kind of do think it will come back, but it seems like they're really investing in Vanderpump Villa, where, they just casted Stassi, and as well as Vanderpump Valley, or just the Valley. Sheena and Lala are filming. Jax is on that show. Brittany. I'm sure they can get like James and Allie to do a cameo, and Tom Schwartz is filming for Summer House. So I feel like they're putting Vanderpump people in different ways. Tom Sandoval's on Traitors, where I don't think Vanderpump Rules is going to come back anytime soon. They're all just going to hop around to different shows, and then maybe in the future it could come back in a couple of years, So back to what I was saying about Love Island. Kaylor read Aaron to filth. Good for Kaylor for finally standing up for herself. Aaron totally disrespected her in casa, and she really couldn't process things, even though everyone was telling her things, until she saw it for herself. And Aaron felt alone because his granddad died, and Kaylor was kind of bashing him on podcasts and on social media. And he called Kaylor out for not, sending her condolences, like just for not being there for him. And Kaylor was like, I sent you my condolences. I asked how you were. I was there for you, but I still need to say how I feel. Like, this is happening right now. Like, I'm watching the show right now. Like, I'm supposed to hold in all this aggression I have towards you after just seeing how many times you lied to me. And he did lie to her. Aaron said he put his hands down Diana's pants. And they literally spent the night together in New York 3 days before this reunion. And he still lied to her. Aaron lied to Kaylor so many times. And she finally had enough, and she stood up to him, and she stood on business. And I was so proud of her. I love Kaylor. I love her. Okay, Gina tuning in says, apparently Leah said her and Andrea left the reunion on good terms and everything turned out okay between them. I can see that. I'm glad that everyone left on good terms. Leah doesn't want problems. Leah's mature. Andrea's mature. I feel like I'm glad everyone can be on good terms. Aaron is such a scumbag. I mean, all these excuses of lying to Kaylor for months and months. I'm sorry your dad died. I'm sorry you've been through things. Like, you definitely deserve sympathy for that. But you're still lying to women and cheating on women, and that is wrong, and that is not okay. So I'm good for Kaylor, but they're young. Aaron makes mistakes. He's young. Kaylor falls for F-boys. She's young. I mean, put them on Love Island Games again. I don't think they're going to don't put Aaron, actually. That's not fair to Kaylor. Like, we want to see Kaylor shine. Kaylor is one of the biggest stars of the show. Love her. Love. And like I said, that fire pit scene was way too long. I don't think they needed to show all of it. I think they could have showed like 4 minutes of it, maybe half of it, but they showed way too long of it. And I was just like, nah. But I can't wait to rewatch the Love Island reunion. I think that it was so good, and I just need to rewatch it. So I will be checking that out and making a couple more TikToks today about Devin and Jenn's relationship, about Marcus and Jenn, and about Jonathan and Jenn. I'm going to give them all their own TikTok and break down those dynamics today, and also maybe a couple more Love Island TikToks and a TikTok about Maddie and Grant. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining and listening. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe if you have not already. We are so close to 18K subscribers. I need all of your help to get me there. And check me out on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter at Zachary Reality. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.